Hi, welcome to The Legend of Taylor, a Dungeons & Dragons actual play podcast based on the music, memes, and lore of Taylor Swift. We welcome all listeners, so whether you're brand new to D&D, brand new to Taylor Swift, or experts at both, we're excited you're here. And now to meet our players and characters. I'm Lauren Muir, and I play Ricky, a tiefling ranger based on the song My Tears Ricochet. Ricky's pronouns are she, her.
I'm Casey Fisher. I'm playing Saracen, a half-elf warlock. The character's inspired by Don't Blame Me, and his pronouns are he, him.
I'm Daphne Miles. I play James Stormfury. She is a Mark of the Shadow elf wizard. Her pronouns are she, her, and she is based on the song Mad Woman.
My name is Ray Utarnatchet. I'm playing Reading, who is a forest gnome barbarian. He's inspired by the song Change from Fearless. Reading is gender fluid, and today his pronouns are he, him.
My name is Lindsay Allen. I am your dungeon master, and let's play some D&D. The last time we played, you all arrived at the Reaches, did a little shopping, got some fancy clothes for the engagement party that the Reaches is throwing for Maxim Grace and his betrothed, Juliet. You all then disguised yourselves as bakers and managed to sneak your way into the manor for the Lord of the Reaches where the party is being held. Then James heard her wife's voice coming through a door, and after slamming into the door, you then made your way to Betty's room, where you lied in wait, changing into your fancy clothes until she came. Once she came, you then accosted her maid for a while and also got into an argument with Betty, which then turned into a physical fight. And unfortunately now Betty, who was not Betty, as we discovered, is now dead on the ground, as is her maid and the animated armor guard who was with them. You're in Betty's room. There's some bodies here. What would you like to do?
Well, we have several things to do. James is a little shaken, but also a little bolstered in a way that, like, she knew that wasn't her wife when she made the kill shot, and glad she was right.
Better than the alternative.
Right.
Super better.
I have a question. Is Saracen on the ground?
He's dead.
Maybe I'll try to stabilize Saracen.
Great. You want to do a medicine check for me?
Nat 20.
Whoa!
Not only have you succeeded, I'll even let you have 1 hit point back. Your eyes
Wow.
flutter open.
Thought I might get 20 hit points off that.
I also thought that.
Yeah.
No,
It's like, I feel like
nice.
you usually get 1 hit point.
So Ricochet used a spell? How did Ricochet do that?
So you guys have healing potions. There are spells that exist, but you all currently do not have those. Another way in D&D that you can help your friends when they have gone down but are not permadead is a medicine check on them. Story-wise, it's kind of like you're stopping the bleeding, and usually it just means you're stabilizing it, like you're packing the wound, but since she rolled a natural 20, we're going to say that it helped Saracen enough that his eyes actually opened up, and he is once again conscious.
Wow.
Yeah, story-wise, because she's a ranger and she's good with nature, I might have had like an herb or something that sort of helped revive you, like smelling salts from nature.
Right.
Yeah. What happened?
Hello, even.
Where's the cake? Are we good? We got the cake?
Just to catch you up, that was Betty, and I point to the corpse that looks nothing like Betty.
Look like Betty. What is happening?
For a flash of a second, her face looked like Inez, or who you might remember as Ingrid.
It's Inez. I don't know why. I think her name was Inez.
You're right.
Yeah.
Wait, her face flashed as Inez, and Inez made her face flash in front of you. Is that actually Inez?
That's what I was wondering too.
I just assumed she just put on Inez's face.
Right. We saw Buck.
Could she have been who we felt in the woods watching us?
I don't know. None of us had good perception.
This is a fucking Truman
Right.
Show. She's playing all the roles around us.
Is this Lindsay?
It's someone who would have had to been with us the whole time to seen all these faces.
There were also several faces that we didn't recognize that it flashed.
When we met Inez, she put your face on.
She did?
For 1 second, her face flashed. It looked like your face in the magic off. It was her way of showing what her skills were.
Yeah, I like that skill. It's cool. It was like she was showing us how she was going to fuck with us later.
But the question is she actually Inez? Does Inez exist? Or was she just, as Reading said, watching us and using these faces? Like,
What does she look like now?
all features have kind of fallen off of her. Her skin now has this shade of gray to it. The features themselves, when they're there, if you can kind of see them, they're very shallow. Her eyes are gray. Her hair is kind of limp and blends. She's a changeling,
Right.
and so changelings in their natural form are kind of meant to blend and not have distinct features. So that's what you're seeing on this body right now in front of you.
I don't know what to make of this at all.
Yeah.
I don't either. So James is gonna go and look at the body, and she's looking for a bracelet for sure, but like anything else she has on her too.
Roll me an investigation check.
Can I help with that?
Sure.
While trying to take the bracelet.
Wait, hold on. Pause. Are you just trying to take it, or are you trying to take it so she doesn't notice that you're taking it?
The second thing that
Okay.
you said.
Here's what we're going to do. You're both going to roll perception checks to see who sees it first. And then you're going to roll a sleight of hand against her sleight of hand, I think.
I got a natural fucking 1.
James got a 14.
You both reach for a different wrist. The bracelet is on the wrist that James reached for.
And I barfed up a lung.
You had a moment where the world spun a little bit and you had to blink your eyes to try and stay conscious because you only have 1 hit point. Now it's just a question of, are you lunging for this bracelet in front of James, or are you letting her have it?
And I'm literally looking at it. How is that a sleight of hand?
I'm not saying it would be a
there,
sleight
could
of
be,
hand.
there could be a gambit, i.e., careful of that, says Saracen, with that same amount of alarm that I just conveyed. That might be like Ricky's necklace where it would burrow into you. I wouldn't touch it. I'd just be careful. This thing changed faces and colors, this person thing.
Yeah.
Who knows what that is? What if that's a cursed bracelet?
Not a single
Roll to
other...
convince? Maybe?
not a single other bracelet has done this.
I feel like you should definitely touch it. What if there's another vision?
That's what I was thinking.
All right, well, I'm praying that you're safe in this
Thank you.
endeavor.
Death has really changed you.
Yeah. Did I die? I thought I just kind of like got low blood sugar and passed out.
You passed out.
So I doubt it was serious
Okay.
because Akalari would never let that happen.
Did James find the bracelet?
I mean, you found the bracelet.
Is there a
failed.
charm? Is
I
there a
think
charm
he-
on the bracelet?
It's a teardrop. It's what you saw in your vision. And if you're touching it, you have another vision. And this time you can hear music. You see a very familiar location. It's the ballroom. It's in the middle of the party. It's packed. You see in the middle of it probably the most beautiful woman you have ever seen in your entire life. Dark hair gleaming, jewelry everywhere, laughing. Her laugh sounds like a beautiful bird. Like, this is the most gorgeous woman you've ever seen flirting with someone. Her arms or wrists are covered in bracelets, but one of the bracelets you see is a similar one to what you've come to be familiar with.
Is it a charm bracelet I recognize? Does it have a heart and a lightning bolt on it?
Oh, perception?
19.
19. That's a good one. It's funny because as you peer into this vision, staring at this woman who's like the life of the party, like she is so gorgeous, you actually notice 2 familiar bracelets on her wrist. One has a heart charm and a not as good lightning charm, and one has a little leaf, like an ivy leaf.
And I recognize the ivy leaf?
You would recognize it as a charm bracelet.
James is going to come out of the vision. She's a little mad. She's going to look at Saracen and say, it's like your girlfriend's coming to the party.
Oh, yeah, because I invited her earlier. Yeah. Great.
And it's a perfect opportunity for you to get her bracelet back for us.
You can talk to her that awkward conversation, but that's weird to do. But I'm excited she's coming.
Did it seem like this party in the vision?
It was in the ballroom, yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
in the vision, could I see who she was flirting with?
Roll me a perception. It's got to be high. We'll say it's DC 18.
Okay. 18.
That's what I said you had to beat.
Hey!
She's flirting with a man. She's got her hand kind of on his shoulder. She's leaning towards him in a very flirtatious way. You recognize him from the peace concert in the neutral zone. And you recognize him because he's famous. This is Prince Maxim Grace in his finery.
Do you tell us that?
James is going to wince a little bit, looking both at Ricky and Saracen, and say, so, good news is she's coming to the party.
Yeah, it's great news.
Bad news is she seemed very romantically chummy with our Prince Maxim.
Oh, that's probably a ploy. If he is bad, she's probably trying to take him down or something. Good for her.
You're so sweet.
Was he going for it?
I mean, she was hanging all over him.
At the middle of his engagement party?
I doubted that a genie would particularly care.
He sounds like a fucking monster. You were into this guy.
What a wank.
I can't believe you, Ricky. This guy's a fucking prick. You know what, though? We don't have to worry. She's going to take him down. We already saw it.
I will hand Ricky the bracelet.
I definitely want to touch the bracelet.
Okay. You see a similar vision to what James saw. It's this party. You don't recognize the ballroom because you haven't seen it yet, but it's a similar architecture to this house that you have infiltrated, so it's not a far throw to think that it would be here. Music is playing. You see the most beautiful woman you have ever seen in your life, and she is smiling big. Her eyes are sparkling. She's leaning with her hand on one shoulder as she chats with Maxim.
And how does he look?
He's smiling. He's chatting with her.
He looks happy.
He doesn't look sad. He's at a party.
In this vision, can I check to see if he's wearing a dagger?
Roll a perception check for me. It's going to be high. It's going to be 18.
I did not make that. I got a 9.
So you don't see it, but also he is in his fancier clothes. This is a formal party. He doesn't have his usual things on, but the Graces are known for being fighters.
So I don't see it, or I just don't know?
You can't see it. It doesn't mean it's not hidden by something he's wearing.
Cool. This is great.
Awesome. Wow.
Are we still going to this party? We got what we're looking for.
Can I see?
I will let you touch the charm, but Ricky's not letting go of the bracelet.
You've lost your bracelet
That's ridiculous.
privileges.
All right. Yeah, I still want to touch it.
So you touch the little teardrop charm. You don't recognize this ballroom. You hear the music. You see Akalari. She's looking fabulous. She's wearing the bracelet that you gave her, and she is leaning again. She's chatting with Prince Maxim, who you recognize from the concert. They're having what appears to be a very lovely, friendly chat.
2 questions.
Yeah.
I think I know the answer to one. Saracen had a bracelet made for Akalari at the clothing store. That is not the ivy leaf, I'm guessing.
No.
Okay.
Because the ivy leaf looks very distinctly like a replica of Rebecca Archer's, whereas the one that you made looks like the olive branches kind of.
That's what I
together.
thought.
Yeah.
Second question. Since we're in a magical vision,
Sure.
Akalari is very magical.
Very.
A god, as we've established. Saracen would like to try to speak to her, even knowing that this is a vision, almost as if he's on another plane, interdimensional magically.
Okay.
Shall I roll for that?
Yeah.
I mean, I think Saracen wouldn't be able to help himself, right?
Yeah.
He would be
Yeah, I
like-
don't think he would. I'm going to make this a charisma check.
Nice.
Because I don't know what else to make it. It feels closest to be charisma check.
All right. So it's an unnatural 13. Saracen will walk right over. He's not threatened by Maxim because he knows that Akalari is just using that man for whatever reason, probably to hurt him, punish him. Or she's probably talking about Saracen, come to think of it. Saracen wants to warn Akalari. He'll whisper in her ear, "My friends don't believe you," which is crazy, I know, but they want the gifts I gave you back. Love you, bye.
Were you saying that out loud?
That was
it was a
honestly going to
whisper.
be my question.
Oh, what are the mechanics of this? Because Saracen touched the bracelet, right? Mm-hmm. Am I moving when I move on the dance floor in the vision? You know what I mean?
The mechanics of the visions, as I have established them, is that you only have the visions. You can see what it is. It's not necessarily something that's happened yet, but it is something that may happen in the future. Your particular, because you have a relationship with your patron, and because you're connected in that way, and they do check on you and all of that, like, it's not unheard of for you to try and communicate with them at any given moment. I will say I don't know that Saracen would know this, but it's not necessarily you can communicate with people in this vision, or you can manipulate the vision as in walk into it, but you do have a connection with your patron because that's how you have your power. What I'm saying is you're seeing Akalari, and I know you're trying to whisper in her ear, but most likely what is happening, you're basically watching a television show of her talking with Maxim, and you're outside of that trying to communicate with her. So it's just, how are you trying to communicate with her outside of that, while knowing that Saracen probably doesn't understand what's happening
Yeah, exactly.
at all.
Well, I think that he whispered in her ear.
Okay.
So whether where everyone hears or not.
That probably means you whispered out loud.
Yeah.
You're right.
But let's remember, there's a party going on downstairs, and it's a whisper. Does everyone hear?
The party hasn't started yet.
But I mean, there's a billion people here, right?
There's a lot of people. There's a lot of servants. Party hasn't actually started yet. You killed everyone that makes noise in this room except your friends. And
Yeah.
everyone, I believe, is just gathered around this body with you.
Yeah.
So they're standing very close to you.
Yeah.
I'm going to say they probably heard you whisper.
Right. We heard, right? Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying this to Sarashin. I'm saying this to the other two. He's had a lot of head trauma, but I still don't know that we could really let that one slide.
No. Yeah, him warning her is not.
Have I popped out?
Yeah.
Oh, whoa. That was Akalari. Now, two of you have seen her.
She's beautiful.
Reading, you got to get in there.
Oh, boy.
He's got one hit point. We could knock him out real quick.
That does bring up a point of like, while we're in here and while we discuss this, is there a way to take a short rest? Because that's an hour, right?
Yes, a short rest is an hour.
But for everyone but Sarashin.
I don't know that I trust him not to rat us
Right.
out to his very hot
I'm not going to let her rest.
genie.
Reading needs to touch the thingy.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
I can touch the thingy. All right. Let's go. Let's look at this.
You touch the little teardrop. You see the vision. Again, it's a ballroom you haven't seen before. Gorgeous woman.
Whoa.
But because of your background and where you grew up, you also notice she is wearing the finest jewelry, the finest gems. You recognize quality, and this is the best you have ever seen. And you're probably a little distracted by that. You're probably very impressed with how colorful her red dress is. Probably because your friends have mentioned it, she is wearing quite a few bracelets,
Right.
two of which look like Rebecca Archer's bracelets. And she is chatting it up with Prince Maxim, who you would also recognize from the concert.
Wow. So I let go. Whoa.
Didn't I tell you?
Sarashin. We need to all go into that horn of yours.
He offers the tip to Reading for a kiss.
Honestly, that might be worth doing, Reading, if you can go in there and get the bracelets.
I know.
Are you saying that out loud?
Yes.
All right, well, I rescind the tip.
Although, out of game question, didn't someone try to go in?
I don't think we tried.
No,
but
nobody's wanted
yeah.
to kiss it.
No one.
Everyone got right up to kissing the tip and then said, never mind.
But I think Akalari told you that we couldn't come in.
Yeah, but we don't know that.
No one's tried.
I will give you the bracelet back.
Okay,
Because you
okay.
have the other one.
Or does it make sense to spread them out amongst
Yeah, you're
three
right.
of us
She's right. We'll spread them out.
in case one of us gets captured?
Yeah, you know what? I've already been captured, so it seems unlikely it would happen again.
Right? As a gesture of growing trust between two potential former enemies, you should keep it.
Great. I will keep it safe. And I think that means a lot to me.
Oh, I noticed that she didn't call you a friend, but that was me.
We're building trust.
Takes time.
It takes time.
I just,
She and her
That's-
kind stole me a lot, and I went through a lot. Okay.
Made here.
Oh.
What are we thinking about
Does
her?
anybody have charm person?
Maybe. I was thinking I could summon my imp friend to get rid of her body.
She
Many
was innocent.
options.
We should see if she could maybe get revived.
I don't know. She also saw us, and she was really
Yeah.
freaked out, and she could not rein her emotions
We
in.
could tie her up.
it's really time to test everyone's alignments here.
I mean,
I'm not opposed to tying her up, I guess. Do you guys do magic that, like, wipes memories?
I don't have that.
Do we feel that she was trying to get us killed?
You would feel, based on the fight and her actions, she was scared shitless and that she was desperately trying to get away to safety and ask for anyone to come and help her because you are intruders in this castle. You attacked the lady that she was assigned to. You, as far as she knows, you are not allowed to be there. The armor fought you, and then she got stabbed.
so she's probably better dead.
Oh my God, Reading, you're the
Okay.
nice one.
It's okay. She had a good life.
Did she? We don't know that.
She worked here in this nice castle.
Also, I rolled a death save for her, and I rolled a natural one, so she's dead.
Oh, no.
Oh, we had that whole discussion, and she's dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
She
Well,
just bled out.
Does
You know-
anyone benefit from wearing a maid's costume tonight?
a bloody
Oh.
maid's
Is
costume.
it bloody?
Yeah, you stabbed her. How do you think she died?
Sarashin's gonna go over and try to bring her back to life. It's like CPR.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
While he's doing that, I'm going to loot the body.
Okay. The maid's
The same
body?
body?
Or
Am I interpreting this as you are helping?
That's up to you. I'm going to search some pockets while you're doing CPR.
Okay.
Saracen, you can roll me a medicine check. Ricky, you can roll investigation with disadvantage because Saracen is doing CPR as you're trying to.
The wound just spurts with every.
Well, it is an unnatural 20.
So you're doing CPR, and then the DM just remembered she made her save, I think, last time, and I should actually roll one more time.
So this is stabilizing her.
So this might be stabilizing her.
Whoa.
But I'm honestly just going to take it to roll another death save to see if she survives. Well, it's a 6, so she's definitely dead.
Oh.
I rolled a 16.
Oh, okay. So she's dead. I'm so sorry, Saracen.
You're just still trying. Do you want to tie up this body too?
You find a needle and a spool of thread in her pocket, and that's kind of it.
No, like keys to like bedrooms for the lady that she was serving. Or...
She doesn't have keys, man. She's just made.
All right.
What about this changeling's body?
Roll an investigation check for me, please.
11.
So on this dead changeling's body, you find a small pouch. You are now in possession of a bag of holding. For our Swiftie friends who are unfamiliar, a bag of holding is something you can shove a lot of things into and not be encumbered by weight.
Rad.
It also saves the DM from having to calculate encumbrance. It's a favorite among players.
Take everything, guys.
Yes.
If you open it and root around,
Yeah.
inside the bag of holding is a small journal. You find a stone with carvings on it. You find a ring that appears to be made of some sort of paper mache.
Aww.
Thank you. Inside, it has an inscription that says, "For true love,"
In the ring?
in the ring. And then someone roll me a percentage dice.
A 93.
Someone else roll me 4d6, please.
15.
You find 150 gold.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And then someone else roll me a d4.
1.
You find 1 potion of healing.
Okay.
Ooh.
And you also find a few bottles that are labeled potions of nail color.
Okay.
Oh my god, it is Inez.
We recognize those, right? From
Wow.
You
Golden
saw very
Cage.
similar bottles to these
Amazing.
in the shop. That's everything you find in the bag.
Wait,
So she followed us all the way here?
Well, James is cracking that journal open immediately.
The journal is written in a code.
I would like to crack the code.
Roll.
Roll an intelligence check with disadvantage.
Oh my.
You don't know the code.
5.
This isn't words.
Hold on, I'm getting something here. We should all trust Akalari, the greatest goddess ever.
James snatches
Period.
the book back.
I was just sight reading a very tricky. You read that. I just sight read a puzzle.
this person, the changeling who impersonated her wife and wants us all to die, is the person saying we should trust Akalari?
No, she probably stole this message from another god, another trustworthy god. Why aren't you people following any of this?
Really falling apart there.
James is going to flip through and see if there's any sort of cipher or anything. Any phrase that isn't common or anything like that.
There's no cipher.
And she doesn't recognize anything.
You can also roll an intelligence check with disadvantage.
Okay. 9.
I mean, it's code for a reason.
All right.
Does the handwriting look familiar?
Are you looking at it?
Sure.
You recognize this easily. This is a code that
Oh.
Diamond Sky uses for their communications.
Wait, you can read?
Oh my god. Yes.
That
One of the
Ricky
books
can
is
read.
about codes.
But you can only read the bad people's writing.
It's a code she knows.
I would like to read it.
So you start flipping through this book, recognizing, oh, wait, and you're translating in your head. This book appears to be what Inez used to record her various missions or what she was doing every day, what she was assigned to do, how that turned out.
That seems helpful. We should find maybe some helpful ones.
As you're flipping through, you also notice a very disturbing trend that is an obsession that slowly grows about James.
Whoa.
As you flip through, this person had been watching James for a very long time and had been learning what they could about her.
Before she was taken?
If you flip from the back and then you flip to the forward, before she was taken, while she was taken, and after she escaped.
Oh, that's so creepy. Before I tell you this,
Yeah.
James, can I keep looking to see if Inez followed us here from the store? Were they the small footprints around the camp? And have they been tracking us this whole time, basically?
So you flip more towards where the end of the entries are. She's been tracking you this whole time. She knew James would be planning on coming to the neutral zone, and she had been following you guys kind of ever since, while moving ahead.
I would like to clarify if this is actually Inez. Did she actually own the golden cage? Did she buy it because of her obsession with James?
This is actually Inez. She bought the golden cage after James was taken.
Does it say anything about Betty?
It says entries of going to the restaurant to be Betty, to prove that Betty is still here, so that no one gets suspicious.
So Betty's missing too.
You can infer that Betty is also missing.
Okay, James.
Hold on, I think my ears have a little ringing.
Dolphin in this one?
Good news and bad news.
Okay.
If I were putting it in good terms, you had a big fan. And if I'm putting it in bad terms, you had a very creepy stalker. She's been tracking you since before you were taken. And I think your wife's missing too.
Long pause.
Pause for trauma.
Yeah. James is just reeling. I think the first question, oddly enough, that pops to her head is, she wasn't actually Betty.
Oh, great question.
Betty.
Hold on. Great question. Let me do some reading.
Yeah.
Turns to DM.
You flip earlier into the book, into the journal. She was not Betty.
Nope. Betty was a different
She was
person.
not originally Betty.
Okay.
Okay.
That's that. Okay.
Great question.
Now, this code would indicate she worked for Diamond Sky.
Sure would.
So she was assigned to scout James. Is she the one that took James?
I will say, if you're sitting here and reading this book for an hour,
Yeah.
everyone can take a short rest.
No, I'm the whole time I'm reading, I'm poking Saracen so he can't rest.
Just kicking him.
Yeah.
You can still get along. Or a short rest.
My ploy didn't work.
Your flow is not going to work because I think he's just daydreaming
Right,
about Akalara, to be honest. So if you're spending the hour reading, you go through it and you're not diving in super because it's a longer journal. But
It's over 10 years, right?
it's not going to be all of it, but it's going to have a lot of it. Inez is the one that took James.
Oh, okay.
Inez would visit James while she was taken, where she was. And as you're reading, there's this weird phrase that keeps coming up that you're like, I don't know what this means. I don't know what this means. But something about what she's doing is changing James' memories,
Ooh, creepy.
which you get the sense she has to visit that much for that. And while she's visiting is when the obsession forms.
Whoa, it's like a Lifetime movie.
This seems bad.
What do you mean?
It just doesn't seem great. I tell James all of that. This woman seems to have been really focused on changing your memories. When we first met you, you couldn't remember how long you had been gone.
Yeah.
And you were missing a lot of things. Now I'm starting to wonder if the things you do remember are correct either.
Oh, so
I can confirm that Betty was a person.
That does give her some relief, but her mind is just a cracked egg sizzling in the sun.
Seems
Does it
bad.
say how Betty disappeared? Or did the changeling write that?
You found an entry of something like gonna finish the last task on the end of one entry, and then the next day was Betty's taken care of. And then it goes on with, here's everything that I've done today. Here's all of that.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
That doesn't sound amazing. Betty's
Sure
taken care
doesn't.
of.
The DM shrugs.
Great. Just to be safe, I'm going to ask, is there anything about Claren in here?
Oh, that's a good question. There would be a mention of Claren because you guys had a whole thing and she was watching that. It's more of a vague, very shortened version of run-in with CC. She failed as expected.
Wow. Damn, that's harsh.
I soften it when I relate.
Yeah.
Yeah, no need to kick anyone while they're down.
But that's it.
That's it. Because they both worked for Diamond Sky, but they clearly weren't on the same mission.
They were not on the same mission.
Was she Buck who took that child? Because we saw her face flash Buck.
You did see her face flash Buck, which is apparently a
Oh,
hard thing
wow.
to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, Buck won the axe throwing competition, and I gotta say that Buck we saw was a terrible thrower.
Does it say that she was Buck?
It says something in a very confusing way
Okay.
toward the end. It just says, had to be the gnome, but package acquired.
Wow.
No, the baby.
But we thought we saved her.
Oh no.
Does it say if the baby is Sarachen's child?
There is no mention of a baby, only a package.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, there's so
much in this
so
journal.
much, and I don't even know where to start. James is so in her head and feelings about what the hell happened to her wife, if she's okay, if she's alive. She is wildly freaked out that this person apparently was obsessed with her. She's like, gosh, glad I didn't kiss her when I saw her.
I thought you meant the dead body
No,
for a
no, no,
second.
no, no,
I'm
no.
going to be honest. I was like, that's one thing to do.
No. Glad she didn't kiss her when she thought she was Betty.
Like, no judgment. Play her character, but...
Also, it's just like she's questioning everything she does remember. She's questioning everything she doesn't remember. But I guess it makes sense now why I don't remember a lot.
Does it say after package acquired what did do with package?
What did do?
Yep.
Ricky would know because she's been reading this for an hour. A lot of the entries in this journal involving missions end with package acquired.
Wow.
This is a day in the life. Ricky would get the sense that this isn't anything particularly special about her day.
Anything else in there about what her plans were for them, for James?
It's creepy.
It's creepy. It's like, ugh, James wants to take a shower.
There's no future talk.
Okay, it's all just missions.
It's missions, it's growing obsession, it's what happened in the day. There's no and here's my diabolical plan for the future. There's no here's what I think will happen in the future. Okay. There's none of that.
Any clues of who she was reporting to, working for?
The journal is written to be read by her, Inez. It doesn't label names, written in a code. It's meant to not point towards who's giving the orders, but it does devolve into an obsession with James.
Are there any secret capital letters in some of the sentences that might spell out a hint for the future? I don't know, someone sometimes does.
Want to roll me an investigation check?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I do. 6.
Nope, none of those. It's just code.
Is Inez's body, does it have one of those red necklaces that Ricky wears?
This one does not have a red necklace.
Oh, thank God.
You get a little break. This is James trauma right now. Gosh.
No, Ricky's trying to really hide the excitement because this is very sad for you, but I'm they know I can read.
Yeah. And not only read, but read code.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's Nazi code too. So
It's still letters.
yeah.
In the bag that James had, I want her to inspect both the stone with carvings and the paper mache ring.
On the stone, roll me an Arcana check.
23.
Dang.
Didn't wipe that memory.
I know.
The stone with carvings on it is a sending stone, which she has one sending stone. Someone else has another sending stone, and you can communicate through them. Now, with a 23,
Yeah.
this is a more roughly made one than you would have made yourself or you've seen, which you can infer it means Diamond Sky made it, and they're not as familiar with magic.
Losers.
Ricky just hangs her head.
You're not one of them anymore.
Roll an investigation check on the ring.
22.
Wow.
It's just a ring made of paper mache, handmade. It looks like it was made with some sort of skill, and it looks like something she's been maybe making herself.
Oh no.
Hey, could I guess her song?
You can!
Is it Paper Rings?
It is not.
All right.
It's a great guess, though.
a great guess,
And I know why you got there.
It felt like it was just worth a try.
Right.
I didn't have a better option.
Fair enough.
Definitely worth a try.
Is it that song Inez/Ingrid?
Is it Betty?
I mean, it is true that we couldn't trust a word she said.
I know.
Right.
I know. James is just shaken to her core right now. But in that, we should search if there's any clue of what could have happened to Betty.
Why doesn't everyone roll an investigation
That's
check? I'm
right.
going to assume everyone's helping to
We're
search
all-
this
Yeah.
room. There's a lot of places to look.
I rolled a 17.
Reading rolled a 15.
Sarachen's got a 12.
8.
Okay.
You're still traumatized by
Yeah,
everything.
I swear every time something like happens with her wife, it's just like all of her skills just whoop, right out the window.
You're all searching. James, you're very distracted,
Yeah.
so you're not really paying attention to what you're looking at. Saracen, you're just, I think, still daydreaming about Akalari, to be honest, but you're poking around. Reading, you maybe got a little distracted by the fine clothes that are in the closet.
Right.
They're very colorful.
Ooh.
Ricky, you're on a mission, okay?
Yeah.
You really only find like a wadded up fabric underneath the bed. It looks like it's been there for a while.
What kind of fabric?
You pull it out.
Yeah.
You kind of uncrumble it and shake it. It's been under this bed for a while.
Is it a cardigan?
It sure is.
Oh!
Thank you for guessing that.
I found a cardigan under the bed.
Is Betty's song Cardigan?
Is that an official guess?
Why not?
Her song is not Cardigan.
Do I recognize the cardigan?
It was her cardigan that she liked to wear when she was like at home. It was her cozy clothes, if you will, under the bed. And as you look at it, you do kind of get a flash of a memory of the day you were taken and how you were heading out into the nearby like woods, the greenery and stuff, just to gather ingredients for whatever potion.
Here was it here or was it the neutral
It
zone?
was a neutral zone.
Okay.
You get a flash of it, and then suddenly everything went dark. It's not anything special. It's just suddenly a memory came back.
She's really emotional.
As we're searching, the thieves' tools that we saw earlier, are those still in the closet with the dress?
I don't know if you guys took it. If you didn't, they're still in there.
Okay.
You can grab
So
them
do
if
we know
you
how to
like.
use these?
You would need a proficiency in order to use them. It would say under your tools.
Can you become proficient?
You sure can.
All right, we'll just hang on to
Yeah,
them. We'll put them
yeah.
in that bag of holding. While we're doing the short rest too, we can all roll our hit dice
Yes.
for small healing.
Oh.
And since it's an hour, Saracen will summon Imp, or Pact of the Chain, as it's called.
So if you need to cast it again, you can cast it as a ritual, which takes 10 minutes. So if you want to wait, do your rest for an hour, and then do 10 minutes,
We'll do that.
I have 3d10. That's the max I can roll, right?
that is the max you can roll for a short rest, correct?
So I rolled 11, which brought me to my max HP. So I would still have one roll left later if I need one, right?
Correct.
Great.
Yeah, you don't have to use all the hit dice at once. You can roll
Might as
them one
well.
at a time if you would like. So, for example, if you're only down 4 hit points and you're like, might as well roll, you don't have to roll 3d6 for that. You can roll 1d6, see if you top yourself all the way up.
Gotcha.
And then if you don't, you can roll again.
Okay.
So when you run out of hit dice, you're out
Right.
until you take another long rest.
James also has arcane recovery. Once per day, when I finish a short rest, I can choose expended spell slots to recover up to a level of 2. So I think I'll just recover my 2 spell slots that are first level.
In the journal, also, as you're flipping through it, you see a lot of mentions of Harkness,
Harkness, which is,
a location.
yes, mentions of, but not with any context.
Heading to Harkness, leaving Harkness.
Okay, so we know that something's happening in Harkness. That's some sort of important location. Do we need to go to this party? Akalari's there with the bracelets, and we need the bracelets.
There's part of me that just wants to like
Party.
to get.
Yeah? You just found a sad journal. You want to party. You want to
Got
let it
fancy
out.
clothes?
It's going to make you feel better.
No.
We're going to throw back a few drinks, eat
Finding my-
delicious cake.
No,
Oh, yeah.
finding my
Fucking
wife
hang
is
out
gonna
with-
make me feel better.
I don't think there's a cake.
I want to be.
No, I remember carrying one in.
That's long gone. I want to be clear about something, Saracen. We are not going to this party to party. And
Well, who sounds silly right now?
And even more importantly, we are going to get the bracelets from Akalari because we need them, not just to help.
We do think we need them. We were going to get the answers because everything's an illusion here. We don't know what's real and not. Remember, we said the person who gave us this directive wasn't even real. It was a automaton.
No. The person who gave us this directive was Rebecca Archer.
We hope,
Oh my god.
I mean,
right? Right, Reed?
yeah,
You
I
see
mean,
it?
you know,
Reading
after
now.
everything
We've
we've been
got-
through, who knows?
we're standing in the room with
I
Betty,
mean-
or so we thought.
Right.
The first person we met, Rebecca Archer, or so we thought. I'm just saying, we don't know who's who, but I know one person I can trust. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think you can.
There is no can, I just know.
No, bud.
You guys haven't even met her.
Yeah.
Give her a chance. You
Maybe his
know?
brain is so scrambled. Like, curl up into the fetal position and cry. But something she does want to bring to the group, if there's an opportunity to get Betty's uncle alone, he might have some answers.
Okay, missions at the party.
Missions at the party.
Get bracelets.
Get bracelets.
Talk to Betty's uncle.
Talk to Betty's uncle.
Get crunked.
It's not on the list. Maybe, if we have time, we set Maxim on fire.
Love that.
Okay.
Cathartic.
I don't know. We scope it out. We see what his deal is.
See how we feel.
We see
That's
how
what
we-
I'm talking about. We're at a party. We set that guy on fire. We're saying the same thing. We're just using different words. I want to party. I want to set him on fire.
Right.
That sounds fucking great.
Let's just see.
Can I ask James's interactions with her uncle-in-law? Would those be things that she has memories of?
Roll a history check for me.
Does that count if
That's a
jumped?
weird jump.
It's an unnatural 20.
It
Oh,
counts.
that counts.
It's not.
So ready to fight.
I appreciate the immediate to battle.
So you remember a lot of your like early romance days with Betty, and you remember meeting her family. Obviously, you remember being in this house. You're very familiar with this house. This was where Betty grew up. From what you remember, you have a good relationship with the Lord of the Reaches. He's a little stoic. He always kept a little bit of a distance, but you always got the sense that he was very close with his niece. He was always very polite to you and kind. You weren't like best friends or anything. You got along.
And like he approved of our union.
Yeah, she wasn't someone that was like in line to inherit anything. She was just a beloved niece who he took in and she lived with him.
Okay. I think James will relay that to the group. That doesn't mean I trust him, especially given what we now know about Inez and about whatever we overheard downstairs and him giving her directives and such. There's a chance that he knew that she wasn't Betty. There's also a chance that he didn't know she wasn't Betty. He might have some answers one way or another.
Right.
Sounds like you're saying, like, make no assumptions. I like it.
I don't think we're saying that. Mainly because I don't think we
just
need
what
to
I'm
make
hearing.
assumptions because you've told us flat out pretty much everything we need to know.
About the Lord of
words.
the Reaches? Let's go talk to him. Great.
Great.
I guess it'd be better to catch him before the party starts. Is the
Probably.
party...
So in the last hour, you've heard a lot more activity in this house. You've heard things gearing up. You've heard a lot of footsteps. You heard a piano like being tuned and warm-ups and stuff like that. And you have started to hear the filtering in of music. And people have started to arrive. It's still early for the party because I think you guys got here at like 5-ish, say, later afternoon. So the sun is starting to go down. So like those people that show up too early for parties are starting to get here, which means the party has officially started, but it's not the main event yet.
Would James be able to infer from what she knows of said Lord that he's the kind of guy who would want to make an entrance and not just be there at the beginning of the party?
You would know he's kind of a stickler for etiquette and rules. He's an elf. He's been the Lord for a few hundred years now. The way I would describe him is he's old money. He doesn't need to make an entrance to get attention because he gets attention naturally. That's just who he is. So he doesn't need to claim anything outside of what he already gets.
He's not flashy.
He doesn't need to be flashy. However, this party is thrown in honor of other people, so he is not the main event here.
Who would want to pay attention to the main event? Because, like, ugh.
Gross.
You know?
Just to state, we are the guests who arrived too early to a party also because we're dressed fancy
Yeah.
at this party.
It's important to remind you, you were not invited to this party.
Right. But we're
we look like we
You're
were.
not guests.
Oh,
but we're pretending to be guests.
We're guests.
You're pretending to be guests.
And we look like great
You look
guests.
very fancy.
We're fine. So should we go to the party and just hope to catch him there, or do you want me to lead you to his room?
Is your uncle going to recognize you? I know you're wearing an incredible outfit that's partially like covers your head and stuff, but is your uncle going to recognize you?
Well, he's not my uncle. He's Betty's uncle.
Sorry, but you know him.
Your uncle-in-law.
I mean, he would recognize me, but I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing is the thing.
Only
Right,
one way to
that's-
find out.
Yeah. I wonder if we should just try to find him when he's not with other people.
Yeah, I would say we don't go into the ballroom. I think we go try to find him before the party. Do you agree?
yeah, lead the way.
Could James lead them to the Lord's suite?
Are we sneaky? Are we pretending to be lost guests?
we're
Are we
guests.
just walking there? Like, what are we doing?
if we're already in our fancy gear,
Yeah.
it feels like maybe we should pretend to be lost guests.
I agree. I was going to say, can I crack open the door and just scope to see if it's more busy now?
Absolutely. Roll me a perception check.
Yeah, Ranger.
Here we go.
Yeah, Ranger.
Non-natural 20.
Nice. It is busier in a sense that there's more maids and servants and stuff kind of rushing around. This is the level where they're like, oh my God, we got to get all this stuff done. And then they go downstairs and everything's very calm. There are a few more people. It's not like a dozen people or anything, but every couple of minutes or so, someone will rush past with a task in their hands that they have to do.
You know who could help us here? Makalari. Saracen will do Find Familiar, and a little rat scurries out from under a floorboard and waves.
To us?
Yeah, to us.
Okay.
That's Makalari.
Amazing.
I think I want to say, like, invisible. And I do 2 little claps, and will she turn invisible?
Then, yeah.
Great. Why don't you go ahead, because we have a psychic bond, and Makalari can warn us if someone's coming.
That's great.
That's
Little
great.
scout.
Also, they can come on invisible, and then they'll think there's a rat at the party and try to catch her, and then we can go the other way.
Ooh, distraction.
Love that.
I love your rat.
So we'll have Makalari scout.
Yeah.
So you head out. Makalari's up front, an invisible little rat. Sniffing their way through. James, you have to lead them down some stairs because the way this manor is built, it's right on the shore, and sea elves like water. So part of this is actually under the water.
Ooh.
So you head down some stairs. Every now and then Makalari will kind of make a little squeak in your head to warn you. We're going to do 1 stealth check with advantage
For all of us?
for everybody.
With advantage.
With advantage because Makalari is warning you all.
Natural 20.
22 for Ricky.
22.
And that does bring James up to 25.
Nat 20.
Really?
Whoa! 2 of them?
Yeah.
What do you get?
18.
18.
Hey, we are stealth.
Ooh, we are
Ain't nobody even glancing your way. You never get near them.
We might be invisible ourselves.
Yeah, you climb down quite a few sets of stairs because the Lord's suites are built under the water, so they're down, down, down. You all can kind of feel the pressure change when you go underwater, which is weird. Gets a little colder, and you finally go through a nice little hallway and you approach a door.
Knocking or going in?
I think knock.
Makalari, can you squeeze under the door wedge thing?
Oh.
Yeah.
Roll me a dexterity check for the rat.
Yeah.
Well, for the imp, I guess.
Does Makalari have all your bonuses?
No, she has a different sheet. 11?
It's a very well built manor. The bottom of the door is not quite a big
Wide
enough
enough.
gap for a rat to come through. Unfortunately, or fortunately for the room. But Makalari tries, and you hear like little struggles in your head, but they can't get their little caboose
Buddy.
through. So
Poor thing.
Caboose. All right, let's knock.
I say knock.
Let's knock.
nice. You hear the Lord's voice. Enter.
Deep breath, everybody.
Lead the way.
James pushes the door open and walks in with everybody.
You walk in, you see he's in the middle of like adjusting his sash with his very formal outfit and all of that. He's not really looking up. Everyone roll me a perception check really fast.
This one also with advantage?
Nope.
12 for James.
15.
22.
9 for Saracen and 11 for Makalari.
So my 22 and 15, if you guys are entering with her, behind her, you both, as you enter, get this whiff of smoke or brimstone or something, and then it quickly dissipates.
Brimstone, you say?
Maybe.
So just out of curiosity, as a tiefling, would that mean anything to me?
Roll an Arcana check. You can roll into reading
Okay.
since you smelled it as well.
Yeah.
Oh, a non-natural 20.
Hey.
Hey.
15. Oh, I did roll a 13.
You rolled a nat 13?
Nat 13.
It's always you, and I love it.
Reading.
Encountering someone too. It was with your sister. You started blowing bubbles.
It's like you're shy or something.
Wow.
I'm going to give you the information first of
Okay.
what you were trying to figure out, and then we're going to roll on percentiles. You both would know smoke, but also like with that finer scent of brimstone. That tends to be something to do with creatures of a fire nature, maybe a more fiendish nature. That's where those scents would come from. So it's a little confusing because you're glancing around and you're just seeing the Lord of the Reaches there. So it's an odd scent to have, especially in a sea manner.
Right.
Now roll me a percentile. I love that you get nervous around new people on Monday. Roll a 13.
76. I don't know. I don't like that laugh.
So you all enter, you two get this whiff of some smoke and brimstone. And then as you enter, I'm not sure what order you all are entering, but I'm assuming James is leading. You notice that the room starts getting a little brighter and a little brighter and a little brighter. And when you glance around, you notice that Reading is now glowing.
And blue?
Yeah, he's blue.
He's still blue.
I'm still blue. A blue glow.
What an entrance, man.
He's still glowing. It brightens to a 30-foot radius
Wow.
for the next minute as you guys come in.
I'm gonna elbow you and be like, why? Why?
I don't know what's happening to me.
And all of you kind of cringe as he keeps glowing brighter and brighter, because if you are within 5 feet of him, you are now blinded
Oh my god.
Wow.
for the next few
Oh,
seconds.
no.
Can I run out into the hallway? Because I'm just super
Absolutely.
embarrassed.
No.
If you would like,
Is that a good
to
idea?
go glow in the hall.
I don't know.
Excuse me for 1 second.
I didn't realize my glow was on. I'm so sorry.
Don't know how to turn this off. Reading runs into the hallway. I'm totally embarrassed.
Extremely weird entrance.
Oh my god, it's like the most awkward thing.
No, here's the worst part is that Ricky, because she doesn't know a lot about magic, she's gonna be like, is he the fire smell? Has he made him glow?
Fair.
Right.
And so I think I'm
fair.
just like immediately less suspicious.
All right.
Like you can come back and maybe explain to me that was unrelated.
afterwards.
But right now I'm like, oh, that explains it.
Did we all see like the wisp of smoke though?
There wasn't a thing to see. There was only a
okay.
thing to
Just a
smell.
smell,
Oh,
and I
just
think
smell,
only Reading and I smelled
Right.
it.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you whispered anything to anyone as you smelled it, but
Can we?
this
Or-
one ran out.
Yeah.
I mean, Reading could be like, something smells weird, and I can runs out.
Sure.
runs out.
I'll allow it because it makes this even weirder. So yes.
Just given like that's your like acid reflux or something.
Yeah, is that what happens when he farts? He glows?
At the sound of something smells weird and the bright glow and you entering, the Lord of the Reaches looks up from where he's adjusting like his cufflinks and he sees you, James. He blinks for a second because you are now standing behind a bright light.
Yeah. So like it gives like the aura that like she walked in a glow.
Yeah. Magic.
And then it sprints out into the hall after saying it smells weird.
Yeah.
James, is that you?
Yeah.
What are you doing? How did you get in? No one told me you were here. What's happening?
Can James do some sort of perception or something if like he seems like himself? If like he's lying?
What do you think he's lying about?
Well, we heard him talking
Yeah.
to the changeling and being
Yeah.
like, I know you like the ones with the most magic or whatever. So
Yeah.
does he seem like himself?
I like
Yeah,
your
does he seem
uncle
like himself? Like, does he seem like who I remember?
I mean, he seems like the guy you remember.
That might have been a weird.
It's too vague so far.
Okay, yeah. I guess I was just trying to get like a first impression sort of thing, but it's probably too quick. Yeah, I came here looking for Betty.
And he's startled and he goes, oh, I thought you... Sorry, I guess it's none of my business. And he like adjusts his cufflinks again. He's like, she's here at the party. I'm not sure she wants to see you, to be honest.
James is gonna kind of glance at her friends and say, Betty's not at the party.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Because James wants a reaction.
She's not dressed yet. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Trying to cover for you.
No, Saracen, mister, I give bracelets to people who shouldn't have them. No.
God, I hope you said that in the scene.
Yes, James said that. No.
I will say reading, it's been a minute.
Oh, good.
Your light is dimming.
So
not
I'm
internally.
tiptoeing back
Yeah.
to the scene.
Your blue is just shining
Now
blue.
it's just the blue.
Yeah.
Just blue. What do you mean she's not here? She's going to the party. I just saw her like an hour ago. She's here.
I'm going to go check on her. And Sarah leaves, goes
No.
into the hallway, turns invisible, and comes back in.
I would have tried to stop you, I think.
Oh.
You can do contested dexterities.
Yes.
against each other.
Okay.
If you really would try and stop him, yeah.
I'm going to go check on her. Yeah, although I don't think I'm going to win, so it's fine. I got a 10.
16.
Yeah, he slips right by.
Turns invisible in the hall and then just walks right back in.
Cool.
Okie doke.
And as this plays out, gonna explore the room,
Nice.
see if he smells any weird smells that
Nice.
Reading's been talking about.
Ricky steps back, looks in the hallway, and goes, oh my God, where did he go?
I think we're all like that.
We are a mess today.
I know, truly. James is so in her head that she's a little cautious about taking the lead, but it makes sense that she's takes the lead. So she will kind of look to Reading and Ricky and just kind of like, do I just say it? You know?
Yeah, Reading saying, sure, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how to tell you this, but to just say it, that wasn't Betty.
He looks very confused. No, she was here. I just talked with her in my office. She went to go get dressed. I don't know what this is. And he makes the like awkward hand gestures for the room. But we are having a very serious party here. And I gotta be honest with you, we can't afford a lot of drama in the middle of a political thing. I might ask if you could wait to chat with her after.
The code that was written down is just written. It's not verbal.
It's just written.
Okay.
Well, I'm not bringing the drama. The drama is already here. I did speak with Betty, and that wasn't Betty, is what I'm telling you. She was some sort of a changeling. And as she says this, can she tell if this is an utter actual shock to him, or if he's like, oh shit, I need to think on my feet?
Now you can roll an insight check.
Better. Unnatural 20.
Nice.
Ooh.
You see like his face change as you tell him this, and like confusion floods it and all that stuff. But you know this guy. You've seen this guy. You've had dinner with this guy. He came to your wedding.
Yeah.
He was pretending to be confused.
James is going to look to Reading and Ricky and just shake her head.
Well,
Well, we take out. Start cracking our knuckles.
daggers out.
And James is going to look at Rain and just say, I really wish that you would have been honest with me.
He's gonna say, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm gonna have to ask you to leave now before this gets worse and I have to force you to leave.
I throw my dagger at his shoulder.
Oh, rolled a hit.
Do I get advantage for surprise?
No, not on him.
9 to hit.
That very much misses.
Yeah. Oops. I throw a dagger way out in the middle of the room.
And he neatly steps aside. He looks at you, Ricky. He looks at James, and he goes, I don't know what the fuck this is, but it ends now. And he snaps his fingers. You hear footsteps in the hall. That's probably a good place to stop
Whoa.
for this session.
No.
Are you sure?
We're doing better this session. We're all alive at the end.
Yeah.
Still upright.
Oh, no.
Thanks for listening. With you, we dance in a storm in our best dress, fearless.